You can click these
All right,
things.
so Epic Grand Finals about to begin of the Epic Meta Championship Series 11. This is completely manipulating the Casey Cup 1 week before the Casey Cup begins. And what the hell is this, Konami? Konami! There we go. We're in. Winking off at the bottom, Rafa at the top. This is your Grand Finals. Ooh, both of their mats activating. Love it. Ooh. Parasite Infestation shuffling up to 2 Parasites. Shuffles 2 Parasites and Parasite on top of the deck. Winking off. Are you crazy? Judge! Oh my god, I think he's playing spellbooks and now all his... No, it's heroes. Oh, thank Jesus. Thank Jesus. Polymerization is going to polymerize into a dangerous once per turn. Either player's turn, you could send a card from your deck, from your hand to the graveyard. Decider on summon activates to add a hero from the grave to the hand in the end phase. Flips up Swordswoman, tributes for the queen. Swings into an Offerings to the Doomed. Offerings to the Doomed. Destroy a monster on the field. It has to be face up, but then you skip your next draw phase. No draw phase for you. It is the end phase of wanking off. So Destiny Hero Dangerous. He's thinking about discarding. He's going to discard the Decider from his hand during the end phase. He's going to send a Celestial to the grave. Now he could draw 2 on his turn. So even though he skips his draw phase, he's going to draw 2 cards. God damn. Parasite.
Nobody panic.
Parasite on top of the deck. Are you crazy?
My monster's effect activates.
Activate. So Celestial, besides the turn it's sent to the grave, you could banish itself and another Destiny Hero to draw 2 if you have no cards in your hand. It is literally a pot of greed. Now the Parasite, besides losing your draw phase and dealing 1,000 to your face, turns all your monsters into insects. Not really relevant for heroes. If this were spellbooks, then that's like an instant scoop. Draw 2 after missing his draw phase. Did he get exactly what he need? Hate you need into a mash change? Huh? Rafa, is that what you're like? Is that you? Dangerous effect, going to discard a card from the hand to send a hero from the deck to the grave, then gain 200 attack per Destiny Hero in the grave. Who with $1 says Mermail's tier 3, Pepe enough. Who? I don't think so, Who? Thank you, Who, so much for that. Nerd Chic with the 250 bits says, where are the baboons? Not on the gem guide. Thank you, Nerd Chic and Who. Appreciate both of you. All right, so he's got his deck in his hand. His deck is in his hand right now, and he's thinking about what card do I send to the graveyard? It's a hero. If he sends a Destiny Hero, it's going to give him an additional attack boost. He discards a Malicious. Oh, he didn't have the deck in his hand yet. He's choosing what to discard. What to discard? Now his deck's in his hand. A big, meaty deck. Looking through it. What do I send to the grave?
So many cards.
Or this could be on wanking off. You know, he's choosing to potentially respond to the dangerous effect. Decider to the grave, 2,600 dangerous. Activates malicious effect from the grave, banishing itself from the grave to summon a malicious from the deck onto the field. If he has a mash change in his hand, this is going to be a big problem for wanking off. I don't think wanking off was expecting his queen to be destroyed by an Offerings to the Doomed. We have not seen that card forever. Look at that, both mats are animation mats, both swapping at the same time. Beautiful. Love it. Now, with the malicious in defense position, it does tell me that he's not going to make too aggressive of a turn. He was off by 100 life for lethal. 100. Now, obviously, wanking off one of his face down cards are going to be something that could stop lethal, but at least it would force it. Got 3,900 damage on the field. He's thinking. He's thinking. This is the grand finals. This is for $1,000.
Give it a good thonk.
Give it a good thonk, boy. But careful of that timer. I think someone lost earlier today because of the timer. I think multiple people lost because of the timer.
People at least.
Yeah, at least 2 people lost because of the timer. Just don't panic. Don't tilt. I know you get in the moment, you start panicking. It's like, oh my Jesus.
I'm panicking.
No panic. Got the top deck list being set up after this. Yes or no? Is everything good? Really? Oh, Jesus. Love everyone working on the site. Thank you. Rafa. Boy, I know this is grand finals. I know it's crazy. I know you're about to win $1,000, but you got to think of something.
You'll be okay.
You need to commit.
It'll be okay.
Now, unlike the TCG, there is no slow playing in Duel Links. I think at Worlds there is, but yeah, that's garbage. There's a timer. You have a 5-minute timer on each turn to make your play. But as he's ticking down that timer, that's going to reduce his time to make plays future down the line. I really think that's a mash change. With him taking so long to think if he should use it or not, or set it, that's a huge D! Wall of D minus 2,400 attack off every attack position monster, which is just dangerous. Putting him down to 200, 0 at the end phase, though. That's a permanent reduction. A huge D.
Make way! I summon a monster in attack position.
Off the top of his deck, yes. Top of the deck, we have Amazon's Tiger swinging into dangerous. Amazon's Tiger gained... Oh, it was the mash change. We knew it! Mash change, you tribute a hero monster on the field, and you special summon a hero from the extra deck with the same attribute. Tributes off Dark. Dark for Dark. Anki to the field. 2,800 attack Anki, but with a small 1,200 D. Flips it down with the Canadia. The Tiger is now bigger than the Anki. Boom. Now, he does have another Celestial in the grave. He will be able to pot a grade for a second time. He must have no cards in his hand to activate it. There you go. Celestial banishing himself and the Dangerous. Draw 2. Did he... No. There you go. That is lethal. Rafa's going to take game 1 due to mass change off the top of the deck from a Pot of Greed Celestial. When Anki destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the grave, you search your deck for another mass change, play another mass change, play it onto Anki. Anki number 3 to the field, 28 to the face. Wayne scoops it.
Twerp like you has no business challenging a champ like me.
Good job, Rafa, taking game number 1 with masked heroes. Absolutely nuts. Wanking off, going into game number 2 again with Weevil Amazons. Rafa at the top with Zane. Cyber Style Zane. For every 1,000 life you're missing, you can activate Cyber Style once per duel to special summon Proto Cyber Dragons onto the field per 1,000 life you are missing. That allows you to tribute summon, have extra bodies on the field for econ takes, all that good stuff. Parasite Infestation, shuffling. How many parasites? 1 to 2. 2! 2 parasites into his deck. T-set from Rafa. Galaxy Cyclone, target a face-down spell or trap, destroy it. Not able to use his takeover. You need to have a zombie on the field to activate takeover to play the field spell from your deck onto the field. Now, Galaxy Cyclone, while in the graveyard, you could banish it during your main phase 1 to destroy a face-up spell and trap on the field. That'll be good against Domain and the Kingdom field spell. Princess on summon, adding an onslaught from the deck to the hand, allowing you to banish all opposing monsters that you go to battle with your Amazons. And Princess on attack, sending a Princess from the hand to the grave to summon a Tiger from the deck onto the field. Now, Tiger gains 400 attack per Amazon you control, including himself, and your opponent cannot declare attacks on other Amazons you control besides the Tiger itself. Now we have Samurai Skull onto the field. Samurai Skull is a great anti-Amazon card. On summon, it sends a vampire from your deck to the grave. Retainer, after being sent from the deck to the grave, will activate to send a vampire to the grave. Vampire card, so it could be a spell, trap, or monster, to the grave. You summon vampire onto the field, and then you get to pay 500 life and search your deck for any vampire spell or trap. But as we said, he has Galaxy Cyclone in the grave, so if he searches the field spell, it will just be destroyed next turn. Now, the reason why Samurai Skull is so great, the greatest, much better than Gazuki, because if it gets banished by the effect of Onslaught, you will be able to summon another zombie from your deck onto the field. If Samurai Skull leaves the field by your opponent's card effect, it summons another one. So you have to be very careful about that. That Vampire Kingdom, only going to be good for a turn. Going to give you, oh my Jesus, Parasite on top of Rafa's deck. If he's not able to shuffle his deck, he will be drawing into 1,000 damage and a Field Clog. Now, the field spell will give plus 500 attack onto all zombies on the field during damage calculation. There you go. Sending Grace from the hand to the grave to activate Familiar. Summoning Familiar onto the field. That will shuffle the deck as he pays 500 to search his deck for any vampire monster. Down to 3,000. Now his Cyber Style is active. Cyber Style allowing him to summon Proto Cybers for every 1,000 he's missing. So you definitely want to pay attention to that. It's a once per duel effect. No more Parasite on the top of the deck for me, sir. The second Grace. He plays at least 2 Grace, adding the second one to his hand. He already normal summoned with Samurai Skull, so he's not going to be able to play the field spell into a Grace this turn. All right, with Samurai Skull, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Will Wanking Off even banish the Samurai Skull? Let's do this, Rafa. Rafa has a Vampire Kingdom in the hand with a Grace. Not able to summon Grace, but he could play the Kingdom if he wants to gain that plus 500 attack boost. We'll quickly lose it to the Galaxy Cyclone, though. Is this the finals? Yes. The grand finals. He's thinking hard. I mean, his only play is to play the field spell, and he's really thinking about it. Artorias with $1 says, the hero always wins in the end. Goes to battle phase. Now, Tiger, you have to attack Tiger first. Cannot swing into the princess.
Attack with my monster.
I don't think so.
Flips up Onslaught. Is there a Canadia in the grave? No, I don't think so. No Canadia in the grave to trigger off of the Onslaught.
I special summon a monster.
Ooh, battle phase effect. Activating the effect of Onslaught. Onslaught special summon a Queen from the hand. Give it a temporary 500 attack boost. Now with Queen and Tiger. Queen, you can't destroy any of your monsters by battle that are Amazons, and you can only attack Tiger. Wayne going in strong. Not looking good at all for Rafa. Takes a fat 1,200. Down to 1,200 life. He has a Kingdom and a Grace in the hand. The Retainer is going to get banished. And the Familiar is going to get banished, so he has no way to special summon from the grave onto the field to get that Grace out. Princess sacking off Queen. There you go. He's going for lethal. He attacks with Princess, he tributes off the Queen, and before summoning an Amazonas from the deck onto the field, he activates the Onslaught to summon a Princess from the hand onto the field, plus 500 attack. That is game. Finished. Game number 3.
Buddy.
Good plays from both players.
It's 1-1.
1-1. It's going to game number 3. No more Weevil. You must put that deck away. Get that out of here. This is
Put that thing away.
the Vampire Mirror Match. Vampire
Poggers.
Mirror Match. Poggers. Zane versus Zane. Rafa is now at the bottom. If you were used to Wayne at the bottom, he is now at the top.
Wayne's usually the bottom, though.
Usually a bottom. All right, Cyber Style versus Cyber Style. Vampires versus Vampires. It all comes down to this. The winner's going to be winning $1,000. Let's see it.
All I need is victory. Duel. My turn. Come here.
Rafa going first. You want to open up with a Samurai Skull or a Gazuki. Oh yeah, he'd do it. Samurai Skull on summon, going to send a vampire from the deck to the grave. With Retainer, he's going to send a vampire card from his hand to the grave to summon it onto the field, then search for a vampire spell or trap. Probably going to search for vampire takeover. Sends Retainer to special Retainer.
My monster's effect activates.
He needs a takeover. There you go. Takeover. Very good. It will play the field spell from your deck onto the field, then special summon a vampire from the grave onto the field. It is incredible.
Watch this. I summon a
Helpful.
monster in attack position. My monster's effect activates.
Gazuki, once per turn, send a vampire from the deck to the grave. It's not vampire, it's zombie. Why is DK so inaccurate? Retainer to the grave. Now Retainer, mirroring, he's going to mimic his opponent. He's going to send a vampire card from his hand to the grave. Summon Retainer, sends Familiar instead of Retainer. Retainer effect, search for his own vampire spell or trap. Now it's worth noting that he did not chain takeover to Gazuki effect. We saw that in a top 4 match, chaining the takeover to Gazuki. It would have triggered the field spell and destroyed the Gazuki. Search is for Domain. Domain's going to allow him to perform an additional normal summon with the vampire, in addition to the Gazuki summon he did this turn at the cost of 500 life. Familiar, going to send the Domain, so that lingering effect of the normal summon, it's just lingering. It's up in the air. Familiar effect, pay 500, search your deck for any vampire monster. He's going for Grace. Going for Grace. Vampire's incredibly consistent with Gazuki and Samurai Skull. Dumping the searchers in the grave. Your Grace is here. Now, he still has his additional normal summon. He needs a field spell, though. With the field spell and Grace, Grace once per turn will declare monster spell or trap. Your opponent is forced to send that card type from their deck to the grave. He's got the field spell, and when your opponent sends a card from their deck to the grave, no matter how it's done, it will trigger the field spell to destroy a card on the field. There we go. Grace is going to declare spell cards. He must pick up his deck and send any spell card from his deck to the grave, which will trigger the field spell to destroy something on the field. I think he's going to chain takeover to this. He's going to chain takeover. When he chains takeover, it's going to trigger his own field spell, because your field spell, when destroying a card on the field, must send a vampire from your hand or deck to the grave. And if he sends a vampire from his deck to the grave, it's going to trigger his field spell. Field spell, targeting the Retainer for destruction. Your field spell, my field spell. Takeover, also special summoning Retainer onto the field. Where is Wayne going to send that vampire? From the hand or deck? If he sends it from the deck. That's going to trigger Rafa's field spell to destroy a card on the field. Not good for wanking off. Vampire Kingdom of his own is going to trigger to destroy any card in the field. He also has Retainer effect if he wants to pay 500 to search for that.
Pointless. Absolutely pointless. My monster's effect activates.
Retainer effect. There you go. Chain Link 2. So pay 500, search for any vampire spell or trap, and then his field spell is going to destroy the Grace. Goodbye. Now, it's very scary having 2 field spells on the field. Each field spell will give a 500 attack boost. That means Gazuki is a 2700 attack monster. At only 3000 life, an Econ kid, take this. Uh-oh, that's scary. That's scary. We saw Wayne win against Jason doing this. Double Econ.
This is how I do it.
Cyber Style. Does he have an Econ with the Cyber Style? Cyber Style, he's missing at least 1000 life, able to summon a Proto Cyber onto the field, big enough to take out the Retainer. Oh boy. Double field spell. These are going to be huge monsters. Does he have an Econ take for game? Does Wanking Off going to win this with an enemy controller take for game?
My monster attacks.
Or he could just Gazuki effect. He didn't even need the Econ. He could have Gazuki effect too. Econ take for game. Winking off is your Meta Championship Series 11 champion. Even Sphere Karibo can't stop this. Wayne, finish him.
Get him, Wayne.
You fool. God damn.
Wrong.
MCS 11 champion, Wayne Keen off.
My boy deserves it.
I win. Get out of my
Whoa. 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 Wow.
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 What a day.
Can you imagine from the first turn, playing out that whole turn, waiting with the econ? It's just like he did so much before that econ take play. You got to do so much searching and playing and your opponent responding. Oh. So if you wanted to join the MCS yourself, all you had to do is be subbed. 7 rounds, top 32 comp. We had world champion players. We had people from Japan, people that went to Japan for worlds, all of it. Thank you, the sponsors before the tournament, Nerd Chic and Mellow, 30 and 500. Appreciate both of you. This is the full deck type breakdown. Amazon, Vampires, Fur Hire, Ultra Athletes, Spellbooks, and Masked Heroes in that order. Vampires took #1 in performance. So Amazon's was the most played deck, and then Vampires was the best performing deck. Amazon's second place. Ultra Athletes beating out Fur Hire. Fur Hire was the 3rd most played deck, but Ultra Athletes, the 3rd best performing deck, followed by Spellbooks, followed by Fur Hire, followed by Masked Heroes, and Batteryman Archfiends and Aliens squeaking into the top 32 breakdown. Now, because this is a top 32 breakdown, and these are top 16 deck lists. So we may, even though we see Aliens, Batteryman, and Archfiends, they might not be here, okay? Now, I might add a featured deck section to add them here. So if you guys want that, I could do that. Otherwise, these are just the top 16 decks. Let's do this top 16 deck list. Sun in the top 16 with Spellbooks and Endless Trap Hell Amazon. Very good. Show of Nightmares. You randomly shuffle a spellbook from your grave or a spell from your grave into your hand when you have at least 3. It's similar to Endless Trap Hell, but it's the spell version. It doesn't shuffle the spells into the deck, though. Drowning Mirror Force. All right, all right. Drowning Mirror Force again in the top 16. SoCal's finest with Cyber Style Ultra Athletes. All right, so he's playing 1 Dunker, 2 Slugger, 2 Rebounder, 3 Midfielder, standard, 2 Cosmic Cyclone, good, standard. He is playing 2 Drowning Mirror Force and 2 Penalty Box. Very interesting. I don't think we've seen a single Penalty Box resolve today, but it's a very good card. Banishes at the start of the damage step. This is 2 cards different than my YouTube deck. So if you want to check out a detailed preview of how to play Ultra Athletes, I made a YouTube video. 2 cards different from this. I'm playing Treacherous Trap Hole and a 3rd Penalty Box. So very good. I'd love to know how many times he resolved Drowning. Is Drowning a meme or is Drowning real? Is this real life? Is this real life? I don't know. It's crazy. People falling for this. You fools! Coupled up with Endless Trap Hell Amazon, Galaxy Cyclone. Galaxy Cyclone and Amazon. You put Galaxy Cyclone in a slow deck, you're going to win a slow battle. We saw that with Jason, how much advantage he gained off of a Cosmic Cyclone, off of a Galaxy Cyclone. You destroy a face-down card. Even if they chain flip it, it don't matter. It still gets destroyed, and then you could destroy a face-up card later. Very good. Top 16 with Sniffus, Switcheroo Spellbooks with Amazons. All right. My Monster Card Amazons. If your deck has 6 or more level 4 or lower monsters with different names, you'll have an increased chance of having a level 4 monster in your starting hand. Now, according to the Discord, many people in the Discord, they're telling me that you're guaranteed 2 monsters in your opening hand with this. So if you want to guarantee 2 monsters in your opening hand, then you play my monster cards. Also playing Galaxy Cyclone. Spellbooks are standard. Good stuff. Cyber Style Vampires with a Black Luster Soldier, Sacred Soldier. Sacred Soldier is so good. It's so easy to summon with this. Refresh for a new graph. What was a new graph? It didn't push yet. What are you talking about? New graph. What you talking about? All right. Yeah, out of here. Get back to where I was. So, back to Silchus Ruins deck, playing a Black Luster Soldier. It's so good with this deck because your Retainer and your Familiar get banished when they leave the field. So, if you summon them onto the fields, which is for free, it's a special summon, then you contribute them for Blackluster Soldier, Sacred Soldier. And I could zoom in a bit so you guys can read the effects. And right on Tribute Summon, the cards are immediately banished, and then you could add one of them from the banish pile to the grave to banish a card on the field. Also, you could summon it with Cyber Style. Good stuff. Vampires are a lot of fun. Definitely a top tier deck. This is aggressive vampires with Econ and Hey True Nade. Love it. Switch-a-roo. Heroes. Heroes are back. With Fur Hires going down in popularity, your mass change is no longer being negated by Wiz. No longer being negated by Wiz, so they're back. They back. Playing with Switcheroo. You could shuffle a card from your hand into the deck, draw a new one after using Cosmic Cyclone. Good stuff. Top 16, R. McMurphy, Cyber, Style. Love it. Standard. Wow. Hey True Nade with 2 Econ. It works. It works. I like it. I like it a lot. Endless Trap Hell Amazon with the Vision Hero Witch Raider. We saw this steal games, boy. This stole so many games when we watched it in action. And you have scouts to prevent cards like Treacherous Trap Hole. So that's very good. Good Treacherous Trap Hole counter. S. Akuma. Cyber Style Ultra Athletes. He is playing a Galaxy Cyclone instead of a third Cosmic Cyclone. Cosmic Cyclone triggers the Cyber Style. The deck looks very standard. Besides, he's playing 3 Mighty Sluggers and a Mithra. Mithra is very good. With Mithra in the field spell and Slugger, you could summon Mithra, tribute Mithra with Slugger, search your deck for a rebounder. In that same turn, perform a second tribute summon thanks to Mithra's effect. And then you tribute the Slugger for a rebounder and then re-special summon Slugger onto the field. Good stuff. Furries. All right, Furries, very good. Tie That Binds has replaced Beatdown. So Tie That Binds will ensure that all your monsters gain that 300 attack boost, similar to a regular Beatdown. Good stuff. Beatdown nerfed, so no longer using that. And of course, you can't use Enemy Controller in Fur Hires anymore. I'm curious to see if we have any Sea Stealth Attack Fur Hires. Let's see. Once again, Ultra Athletes with Cyber Style in the top 16. Playing 2 Dunker, 3 Cosmic Cyclone, Canadia. This is beautiful. This is, I think, 2 cards different than my YouTube deck. Good stuff. I play a 3rd Canadia, and I play a 3rd Penalty Box. Otherwise, exactly the same. Love it. Restart with his spellbooks. Restart, ensuring you get that good turn 1 hand, because that's very important for spellbooks. Seraph, Sephiroth. Good stuff. Tie That Binds. Once again, Tie That Binds. For hire, not playing Sea Stealth Attack. Plus 300 onto all your monsters with 3 on the field. A Surprise Sphere Kribo. Endless Trap Hell Amazon. Standard, besides, you know, playing Cosmic Cyclone. Now, the Cosmic Cyclones in Amazons, I feel are, you know, they're good. With Sea Stealth Attack kind of, you know, gained popularity, and the Cosmic Cyclones just dominate that. So that's very good. Also good for the mirror match to banish the Onslaught. Another Ultra Athlete. We are now in the top 8. Shiny Sophion, as you can see from that blue name, is a top player council member. If I click on Shiny Sophion real quick, she helps with the tier list. She earned her spot on the top player council through doing well in events like she just did in this event. So look at that. Accomplishment, 2nd place MCS, 1st place, top 10, about. Love it. So her deck is playing 3 Sphere Kuriboh instead of playing Canadia. So Sphere Kuriboh instead of Canadia, playing Cosmic Cyclone for the Cyber Style. Very nice. Very nice. I'd like to know how much she loves Sphere Kuriboh after the tournament. How well it helped her. Good stuff. Endless Trap Hell Amazons with Vision Hero Witch Raider. Love it. Love it. Another Ultra Athletes. Oh my Jesus. How did this not win the goddamn tournament? Cyber Style Athletes with Tricky. Tricky with comboed with Penalty Box. You discard Penalty Box from your hand to banish Penalty Box to search a UA Stadium. Then you could tribute summon the Tricky, and the whole deck gets set up from that. Very sacky version. No protection, no Sphere Kuriboh, no Canadia, all in. Luis Guada, all in with his Ultra Athletes. I love it. Endless Trap Hell Amazon with triple Treacherous Trap Hole, 1 Surprise Drowning Mirror Force. Good stuff. Mixed Master. Once again, Blackluster Soldier in Vampires. Good stuff. Already talked about how good this is. Banish a card on the field. Love it. I definitely want to play this. Very happy to see that. Otherwise, quite standard. Not playing Enemy Controller, though. Switcheroo Amazons. This is, you know, a head scratch. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen a Switcheroo Amazons. This is weird. Weird. But it works with Cosmic Cyclone. Teching in a Secret Massive Morph. Good stuff. Love it. Top 8 still. We got Digi Channel with Vampires. Vampires. The Econ. True Nade with the Treacherous. Looks good. We saw some big Vampire Vamp plays today. I love it. Suck up a monster that's bigger than Vampire Vamp, and she gets huge. Huge. That good suck. Switcheroo spellbooks, standard. So you guys know what to expect from the KC Cup pretty much. This is it. These decks, you're gonna either play these decks or play against it if you're at the top part of the KC Cup. Lord Arcthor. Now we are in the top four with the tie that binds furries. Playing 3 Sphere Karibo, 2 Mayhem, 2 Hey Trunade. Can't play enemy controller anymore. Good stuff. Standard spellbooks. Jason. Top player council member. You could click on his profile. Jason has a lot to say about himself. Topped every MCS since returning. Wow, very modest. Okay, Jason really is modest. He's awesome. I love Jason. Did incredibly well this tournament. I think a lot of people thought he would win it, but wanking off stole the win from him. Once again, I guess BLS Sacred Soldier is the way to play vampires. Who would have knew? Who would have known? Sealed Tombs. Now this is different. Sealed Tombs is a great way to counter all these dirty little vampire players. You can't summon Familiar or Retainer from the grave, and you can't use Gazuki effects. You also can't use Vampire Takeover nor Desire if they play it when you activate Sealed Tombs. It's also great against all the Spellbook players. They can't chain Spellbook of Fate. They can't use Spellbook of Fate for your whole turn and their whole turn. Galaxy Cyclone is really good in Amazons. Good stuff. Good for the slow play. Second place, Rafa. Again, BLS Sacred Soldier, not playing the good suck in his deck, playing Vampire Desire, not playing Treacherous Trap Hole, playing Econ. Heroes. Heroes with Offerings to the Doomed. Triple Mass Change. Standard hero deck. Really low on monsters. Wow. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Let's go to the next deck. So Heroes, I think, Heroes is going to be a big deal in the KC Cup. I believe so. Especially after doing well in the MCS. I'm not looking forward to it. And your champion, Wayne Keen off with simultaneous loss. Oh my Jesus. So instead of playing Hey Trunade, he's playing simultaneous loss. Simultaneous loss, you mill the top card of each player's deck, triggers your field spell to destroy a card on the field. Also, I believe the only player playing Grimson. So instead of playing BLS Sacred Soldier, he's playing Grimson. Well, he won. I mean, so maybe that's better than BLS. Who knows? You guys be the judge. I got a lot of my vampire deck ideas from the Japanese teammate Wano. Vampires being able to spam the board and econ take is pretty much the reason why I wanted to play them today. I tried to find the 2 most consistent top tier decks, and I feel like Amazon and Vampires are both the most consistent, powerful decks in the format. This is crazy. You are an MCS champion, boy. You're gonna wear that MCS champion tag in the Discord. Good stuff. Love it. Parasite Infestation to finish off his deck with a Drowning. Surprise Drowning. Interesting that he's not playing Widespread Ruin. We saw a lot of it playing Wall of D. So it's highly contested where you're playing Drowning, Wall of D, or you're playing Widespread Ruin. I think the more popular Drowning becomes, the worse it would be. Or maybe it's poor. Scouts. Scouts also good for, Treacherous and Widespread Ruins. That's it, guys. That's it. If you guys want to be a part of the family, the Discord, we have a weekly MCS. These are all the, not the weekly, a monthly MCS every single month, bro. Just be a part of the Discord. Clan Wars is happening right now. These are, a little bit of the information. The Meta Weekly happens every single week. We've done 35 of them so far. Absolutely nuts. It's a $2 entry. Anytime tournaments are happening daily. There's so many. I think
probably happening right now.
Probably one happening right now. Daily tournaments, $2 entry. You play with 3 other people. Good stuff. 2 rounds, win $8. Giveaway tournament. This is a monthly free giveaway. It's free. If you're a sub, it's free entry. And, we give away stuff.